Hey, good morning on Coffee Break with Coffee with Democrats. What a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day. I'm down here at the Cleveland County Democrat headquarters in Norman, Oklahoma. It's such a beautiful day. The sky is just broken clouds, high broken clouds, but sunshiny, beautiful temperatures. It's a great day to be a Democrat in Oklahoma. And we have a special guest. And believe this when I tell you, folks, this is a really close friend of mine. I really like this guy. He's like my brother, Sam Graefe. We've got a lot in common, from working with the Missouri Pacific Railroad to all the time that, his time working in St. Louis, growing up in St. Louis, my time working in St. Louis. We've got so much in common. The transportation, all the different things that we've done in the past. And he's just a great person, somebody that I really, really like and enjoy spending time with. And I know he was just on here just a few weeks ago, but I don't care. I want Sam to come back on here as much as we can. So good morning, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Had some great meetings there recently and some fantastic door knocking. So,
well, that's the part I'm going to ask you next. What's going on in your part of the prairie?
Well, we are a bit in the world where 30 to 40% is the biggest number I can make out of the Democrats and the independents. But we are working with that, and we're talking to the Republicans. This last weekend, it was easy to persuade a former MAGA Republican to consider that it's different here in 2024. It's not 2016 anymore. And they've seen it, they've done it, and they're not ready to keep doing it again. So
that's great news. That is so awesome. That is so wonderful. And I'm sure you've got many, many stories like that. And you've been doing this for a couple of months now. It's just so amazing. And I'm going to just say this up front, folks. I am so proud of Sam too. He really got behind the 8 ball and was really struggling, but he has taken the challenge and he's beating the challenge now. And that's something that I'm so excited about. So go ahead, Sam. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's a problem. Of course, my issues are about fixing our problems with public schools, infrastructure, both roads and water, and most importantly, trying to come to the middle on all these things that, a lot of times 70% of Oklahomans agree on something. And sometimes it takes the public to have a petition campaign to get our legislators back to that 70% consensus. So my campaign is described as a moderate consensus Democrat. I see the viewpoints of the Republicans, and I see the viewpoints of those on the far left in our party. But, we can find more things we agree on than we disagree on. So today being Friday, September 6th, we're only 60 days to that magic November 5th date.
Right.
And as I look at it, our mail-in ballot system, when I'm on the election board in the past, we normally get those ballots out to people 30 days in advance, more or less. So we really have only got 30 days before some of the early voters will get those ballots in hand and need to make a decision. And of course, I do recommend to everybody that they go and request a mail-in ballot. I always tell people when I was working as a poll inspector that you could get your ballot, sit in your easy chair, and then go back and do all the research. You can look at the candidates you really want to vote for, do some more in-depth research in that easy chair, and then go ahead and process it, get it notarized, and mail it back. Or if you don't even really want to do that, you can take yourself to the poll, just sign that affidavit that you didn't send your mail-in ballot back.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Advance warning. There may be some surprises in the ballot if you hadn't gone to the website on the .gov website to check what your sample ballot was. Of course, we're working with scheduled times of getting everybody registered by October 11th.
Right.
And working just the normal process on a campaign. We expect to be doing an every door mailer in October, so it meets that date before the mail-in ballots are available. I also work with in several of my municipalities that there's a 30 or 60-day sign limits. So you'll start seeing a lot of my signs going up within those constraints of the individual city limits. Overall, the strategy that I've been working with is that I'm a fixer, not a fighter. In fact, that's the motto that they kind of put there for me after talking with me about the way I think about things. I've gained that through a lot of experience. I used to be on a union management negotiating team for safety issues. So, you have to give a little and get a little. It's not always one way or the highway. And I want to bring that forward in my campaign as well. Again, that moderate consensus Democrat that you kind of see there. Sam is prominent. Graefe is a hard name to spell or remember, but moderate consensus moderate Democrat is the tagline above state senator.
And that's in your background, right by your head there, and that everybody can see that.
Exactly. I'm sorry. Let me go. Yeah. There you go. Right back here.
Yes.
Mirror image here. Okay. And like I said before, as I look at each of the individual of the 24 school districts that touch in my district, there's 5 counties, 24 school districts, 22 zip codes.
Oh, wow.
They range anywhere from 30 to 40% Democrat and independent. So as far as strategy, I have to hold my hand out and say, hi, Republican, do you think that you want to do another 4 years like what we saw, especially in 2020? Or do you want to continue what Ryan Walters is doing in their attempt to put a theological governance over everything we do in our life?
Right.
I don't think everybody wants that.
Right.
My district is rural and suburban. We have very fast growing areas like Newcastle, Graefe, Blanchard. Even where I'm at in Dibble, I see new house starts all the time, new pads for manufactured homes and other people getting more dense population wise. I have school districts that range from the largest, like Newcastle, Duncan, Purcell, Blanchard, but we have some of the smallest communities and school districts like Alex, Ninnekaw, and Wayne. So that pretty much tells you the boundaries of where we go. So the strategies for those rural areas and smaller school district areas are a little different than what we're used to in a conventional Norman, Moore, or Oklahoma City area.
Oh, absolutely.
We have to be able.
You don't have the neighborhoods like what we have in these dense areas. You got to go down long lanes to get to homes.
Definitely. So our strategy to reach people has to include social media. It has to include phone banking. It has to include mailers. And so, I wish I could knock on every door once, twice, 3 times, but it's pretty much impractical for a pretty good percentage of those that are out on large estates, large farms and ranches, or just a couple acres. It's most have gates. So I am certainly looking for help, but first I want to say thanks to everybody who's donated. Thanks to everybody who has volunteered and helped me get organized. And it's a new thing for me, of course. Like I said, we're going to go through those conventional things, and those signs cost money. The walk cards cost money. everything we do, including making texts, calls, has a small cost associated with it.
And I've just put on the banner right there at the bottom for people to be able to come over and go to your website. It's right there, that secureactblue.com donate committee for Sam Graefe, Sam for SD43 OK 2024-1. Just copy that down, make a screenshot if you have to, folks, if come back to it. But that's also located on, and it's the simplest, easy. Sam's the genius, guys. Sam is truly a genius. Look how simple his website is, how simple it is to go to his website, samforsenate.com, and you can go directly to that same donate button that'll take you to that secure location. But it's so simple, samforsenate.com, and please go donate, because Sam needs your help, and we really need Sam in Oklahoma. So please, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just trying to help you out there.
Yeah, I was totally flabbergasted when I requested Sam for Senate. Worldwide, there must be no one else that wanted that domain name, samforsenate.com. You would think I'd have to pay lots of money for that, but it was essentially next to nothing. So that was one easy break. Maybe that's a good omen for something.
Yes, absolutely.
And again, into Act Blue, I've just gone back to anybody else's donation page and just type in Sam Graefe. The Graefe part is hard, so I'll spell it. It's G like George, R like Richard, A like Apple, E like Edward, F like Frank, and E like Edward again. That's why all my signs say Sam. And when I used to be a substitute teacher, it was just call me Mr. G.
Yeah,
I'm just Mr. G or Sam. So yeah, again, I do appreciate your suggestion that people donate. The other thing, of course, they can always do is volunteer. My Facebook page is the primary place where you'll see updates. My website, not so much. So the best way to reach me is actually through my Facebook Messenger. I monitor that probably the closest. I have my telephone number available on my walk card, and I asked all of the voters to feel free to text me first who's calling, and then I'll either call them back or they can attempt to try to call shortly after texting, so I know it's not one of those scam calls that all of us, especially over 45, 55, are starting to get so constantly. I pretty much put my phone down because I'm tired of all the spoof calls with imaginary 405 numbers, and they're really not here in Oklahoma. I get so tired of it. In fact, that may be one of the first recommended bills that I put forward is let's find some way to avoid the elder abuse of calling and spoofing, defrauding people, letting them know that they're calling from trying to tell us that they're a local business when in fact they're not. I'm so tired of that.
And I support you 100% on that. That is so demeaning. It's not just demeaning, it's disgraceful that people would do that. So I'm 100% support of what you just said.
I've worked in the telecom industry and been in call centers, and I find it despicable of any business that attempts to do that. We were talking about registration. As I go through knocking doors, I always put in all the registered voters on my walk list. The reason is I have to talk to Republicans and persuade those that can be persuadable to vote for a moderate Democrat. But the other thing it does is it lets you look in a subdivision, for instance, an housing addition, that if they're missing addresses in that list of registered voters, that's prime opportunity to talk to them. And we are doing that when we have an area that may be new, maybe not. There's a lot of people that have moved that are just not motivated to be registered. So that October 11th cutoff date to be registered is valuable. And as we walk neighborhoods and knock doors, we're making a special effort to let people know to go register, including bringing printed forms if they prefer to do that way. And I perhaps mentioned the last time around, my goals in running for this office is that, well, the Democrats don't always have somebody on the ballot. And
Yeah.
I have made a concerted effort all the years I've been active here in Oklahoma since 2012-13 to get people recruited. I was successful in more to get some candidates to run. This year, it was a matter of there were a few people thinking about it. And so at the last minute, I said, I'll run for Senate. One of those reasons was that we have a great candidate for the House district north of me. Excuse me. And so, you know, we didn't have a primary. The goal, of course, in the future has got to be to get enough candidates. We have a primary with 2 candidates. We were fortunate in having 2 candidates run for CD4 position. The other second reason that, and what I have been doing, including last night, was going to other counties where some of the organizations, or at least the precincts, are not filled with candidates or positions in the officer group, the chair and vice chair of a precinct or a county. And so as I go through and I'm contacting people, I'm also looking to hopefully recruit them, and with the enthusiasm that Kamala has created this year, it's a much easier task.
Isn't that an amazing thing, though? I mean, it's just so wonderful this year. I mean, it was so, I don't know. It just seemed like in 2016 and 2020, 2022, we were just getting slammed so bad, you know, people calling us names and making liberal a derogatory term. And it's not, it's an endearing term, and it's a wonderful term. But this year, the excitement is just unbelievable. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, and we've got a couple of minutes here that I want to go ahead and let you continue to tell people about your campaign. Okay.
Well, again, building those precinct and county organizations is very important in my campaign, and the way I've structured how I look at van and other things to try to encourage those frequent voters to get involved if they're able to. I think we should be building for the statewide election in 2026, and hopefully that's a big part of it, not just in my area, but everywhere across the state. And I think it's important also, as I talk to people, that I'm trying to identify people who may even be able to run for city council, school boards, or a state representative or senator. But the more people we have running, as I said, the more vibrant the party will become. And certainly it should be a goal of all of us to bring forward as many of us as we can get out on the ballots. So,
well, Sam, you know what? You're such a wonderful man. It's just, and it's not just the talent that you have, and it's just not the knowledge. You've got such a great personality, and it's you've got kind of a magnetic personality that I really appreciate. And I'm going to preface it. I'm going to prove that the comment on your section has been greater than the comments that I've received in the last 4 days. people like you. And that is such a wonderful thing to see all the comments and everybody who's making these comments and encouraging Sam. Thank you for making those comments. We appreciate that. I tried to put as many of them up on the screen as we could. But Sam, man, what a great time to be a Democrat. What a great time to support Sam for Senate District 43, because we really need somebody with this kind of common sense. I really believe that. And Sam, you're such a wonderful man. I can't say so many, as many nice things as I can. They just don't come up. I don't have all the adjectives for it. But thanks for coming on Coffee Break on Coffee with Democrats.
Thank you very much for having me, Kevin. And thanks so much for all you've done. Being a delegate is a great honor, and you certainly have earned it through the effort that you put into this every day now, okay? Something that we can look for every day. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much. And we're going to do this again. We're going to have you on in a couple more weeks. I just want to continue to build your campaign and promote your campaign as much as we can, because again, I think you're a fantastic person. And I really want to see you in the State House of Oklahoma representing the citizens, we the people of Oklahoma, because that's what you'll do. Definitely. You'll represent the we the people of Oklahoma, not the special interests. So everybody, thanks for joining us on Coffee with Democrats, and especially Coffee Break on Coffee with Democrats. It's a little shorter version of what we usually did, and this new format. So thanks everybody for supporting us. Sam, you're a great guy. I continue to say that over and over again. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be on with us. And everybody who has listened in, participated with your comments, put your hands up, all the little emojis. I love it. Thanks so much for everything that all of our listeners are doing to support the Democrats throughout the state of Oklahoma and throughout the United States. Until tomorrow, we're not going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. So I'm going to take a much needed day off. Probably might do a remote from the Cleveland County Fairgrounds, where we got the fair going on this weekend. I might do that later today and tomorrow. And then I'll see everybody back here 10 a.m. Monday morning for another Coffee Break on Coffee with Democrats. Until we do this again, everybody, hey, thanks for joining us, and please be safe. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.